Alright, can you beat Dark Souls 3 without using any stamina at all? No. Huh. Well, that sucks. Okay, I'm done. Bye everyone. Okay, perhaps we need a more elaborate answer than that. First of all, are there even attacks in this game that don't consume any stamina? After all, in Dark Souls 1, a no stamina challenge basically came down to using spells with less mobility. In Dark Souls 2, spells were no longer an option, but at least consumables were still available. In Dark Souls 3, however, anything you throw requires stamina as well. And so do the weapon arts introduced in this game. Well, that's almost, but not entirely true. There is a single pyromancy called Fire Surge that, for whatever reason, consumes no stamina. Perhaps to make up for the fact that it also hardly does any freaking damage. Oh, and my apologies for turning the Firekeeper's buttocks into steamed hams. Yeah, that's what I call buttocks, it's a regional dialect. But the point is that using Fire Surge is not going to carry you through the game. And the same applies for the consumables that you don't throw, but instead drop behind you. They don't consume stamina, but dropping bombs and pooping out poop has very limited utility as well. So are there any exceptions when it comes to weapon arts? Well, yes, but then we're talking about things like buffing animations. And those don't inflict any damage. Huh. Well, isn't that interesting? Well, isn't that very interesting? So we do in fact have a Frostbite AoE and a buffing animation that has a hitbox and therefore can be used like a melee attack. And as a very happy accident, it's a powerful attack that also inflicts quite a bit of poise damage. Although there's also a problem with it. The hitbox is kind of wonky. Almost inexplicably wonky in fact, to the point of frustration. But hey, as long as you can inflict a decent amount of damage, then it should be possible, in principle, to beat the game without stamina. Yeah, almost, but not really. At the very least, it's not possible to do without some additional modifications. Because you cannot start the game with any of the aforementioned attacks, and any known skip to acquire them requires stamina to perform. Of course, then the obvious next question would be, how close can you get? What if you either play through the tutorial as you normally would, and then have a friend drop the Onyx Blade for you? Well, the real challenge there would be to acquire a friend first, so it's not a pragmatic solution. But what if you use the power of PC modding to start the game with the Onyx Blade already in your inventory and with the minimal stat requirements? What would it be like to go through the game without performing any action that would deplete your stamina bar? Well, that's a good question, and I'll be a son of a gun. This has in fact already been done 2 years ago by the YouTuber Live as a Vegiminer. However, his achievement unfortunately largely went under the radar, which is a terrible injustice if you ask me, and therefore you can find the link to his video down below. So definitely check it out, as it will also be interesting to see where our approaches happen to differ. In fact, let's see if I can not only walk in his footsteps, but even take a few steps further beyond the 90% route. Moreover, I wanted to approach this in a similar way to how I approached my Bloodborne no stamina challenge, where I also wanted to include encountering obstacles and then finding solutions to them to be part of the playthrough itself. Therefore, I haven't rewatched this video before doing this, nor did I prepare by doing a no rolling playthrough first, because that would sound like an obvious form of practice, and I have a lot more to say about the difference between that kind of playthrough and this kind of playthrough later on in the video. Well, ironic as it may sound, I think that you're going to need a lot of endurance to complete Dark Souls 3 without stamina, at least when it comes to your own endurance as a player. But you know, a little bundle of energy that I am, I'm sure that I inherently possess the stamina required to keep going. Oh, sorry. Jeez, the idea alone already sucks all of the energy out of me. What am I doing to myself? Well, in case it wasn't clear already, the way I handled this challenge is likely not even the most optimal way of doing it. So, although you cannot consider this a guide or a how-to, I think we can at least agree that this is quite literally a Dark Souls 3 walkthrough.
I'm a man on a mission.
Alright, so we have our modified character with the Onyx Blade and nothing else, so we don't have too much of an additional advantage. Now, obviously, even with how lengthy this video already is, a ton of relevant stuff will still end up on the cutting floor. So therefore, I livestreamed this playthrough to preserve it in its entirety. So whenever you wonder about how I managed to get through a specific area or whatnot, that is not covered in this video, you can go and check out the full unedited playthrough, which is linked down below. Alright then, so it's finally time to get started. And there we go. Oh, damn it, muscle memory. Oh, that's going to be a problem. Well, at least contrary to my Bloodborne no stamina quote-unquote run, I'm now at least able to alter the controls, so that helps a little bit. Regardless, it's still going to be a fight against muscle memory. Okay, but now at least we can get started. And in principle, although not in practice apparently, we could clear the tutorial very easily because the Onyx Blade will inflict a ton of damage against early game enemies. And on top of that, does a lot of poise damage as well. So against Gundyr, you would actually be able to literally spam him to death. At least I would have been able to do that if my spacing hadn't been off when he was transforming, which knocked me on the ground. But at least let that set the tone for the entire playthrough. There is basically nothing worse than getting knocked down, because you won't just get up again, and they will forever keep you down. Because the thing is that you need the circle button to recover. Especially late game, a single mistake that results in a knockdown might immediately end the fight right there and then, because it's purely a matter of RNG whether you'll get the chance to recover. So it's at least a good thing that we can start with a high damage output. However, we mainly do dark damage, split with some physical, and the fire buff is a flat amount that doesn't scale with anything. And therefore, dark resistant bosses are going to be a problem. Moreover, we cannot even start with the Silver Serpent Ring for extra levels, nor the first Estus Shard, given that we cannot perform the tree jump. But it's obviously not just jumping, we'll have to walk everywhere. We can't even run. Just a slow jog is all that we have to outspace incoming attacks. And if you can only Pantera your way through the game, well, that's not exactly going to be a walk in the park. And especially for the late game bosses, it will be anything but a walk of the cake variety. So, spoiler alert, this was definitely one of the more difficult challenges I faced in this game. In fact, I think we need to cover the basics of this type of playthrough in a little more detail first. Now, it might seem that this playthrough is very similar to a no rolling challenge. But there are actually significant differences. First of all, the more accurate comparison would be no rolling and no sprinting, which is already a massive difference when it comes to mobility. However, when you can still use regular melee attacks, you have the ability to attack faster, at more opportunities, and you can also do things like backstabs, or you can even use some very creative methods for dodging attacks. And therefore, no stamina is far more restrictive. And on top of that, I'm not even all that familiar with no rolling strategies to begin with. I do know a little and I'll show some additional footage throughout this video. So I can at least explain some things, but it's one thing to merely talk the talk, it's a whole other thing to actually walk the walk. Not to mention that with standard melee attacks, you don't have to work with a frustratingly inconsistent hitbox that sometimes doesn't connect at all, sometimes only hits with the fire buff itself, or sometimes hits with the blade but not the fire that's around it. I don't even understand how that's possible. But that's going to be very annoying once you get the ability to inflict frostbite, given that you can reset that effect by inflicting damage with fire. Now, you might think that raising your defenses with heavy armor would be highly beneficial in this playthrough. However, in this game that will not provide as much of a benefit as a lot of people tend to believe. When you do actual damage tests, you will notice how little extra damage reduction you will actually get from the heaviest armor sets in the game, compared to the lighter ones. And on top of that, the most common way to die in this playthrough is by getting stun-locked to death. So heavy armor won't save you from that. After all, remember, this is Dark Souls 3, so poise is not a thing in this game. At least not when it comes to armor. So raising your defenses is helpful, but I have to emphasize that you shouldn't overestimate it. In fact, even though fat rolling is not going to be an issue of course, there is still a weight limit to consider. I mean, sure, in late game you can get your hands on some really heavy armor, but then something like this can happen. Alright then, full Hevel's armor. I'm completely unstoppable now. Time to blast off at the speed of light Team Rocket style. Oh, Okay, I'm definitely not going to take a walk on the wild side in this getup. In fact, Havel's armor is not even all that great in this game to begin with. Also, as powerful as the Onyx Blade turns out to be in early game, that won't be the case throughout this entire playthrough. But yes, when it comes to Vord, it was very similar to Gundyr, meaning that despite my weapon still being at +0, and our attack technically not even be meant to be used as an attack, we still managed to inflict an absurd amount of damage to Vord. Moreover, in the first phase, his attacks can easily be avoided by sticking either behind or underneath him. So the only real issue here was the triple charge. However, as long as you're embered, you can survive through it, which then allows you to finish him off while he's doing his Ice Breath attack. At least I think that's what he was doing, because I can't really see anything because of the camera. Although to be fair, I was quite lucky to not get frostbitten, which can easily happen because the Ice Breath can sometimes somehow still hit you when you get close to him, even from behind. Because in this case that would actually have killed me. Regardless, you might think, by judging from how the first two boss fights went, that this entire playthrough is not going to be such a big deal. Yeah, well, appearances can be very deceiving. In fact, I'm going to ruin my own appearance because I realized I would definitely need a lot of souls for levels. So I would definitely want the 5 free levels that you can get from Yol. So to be clear, that's only for the levels, we're not going to do Anri's questline. Although to be fair, walking Anri down the aisle would be quite theme appropriate. No, not because of the walking aspect, but because nothing is more tiresome than marriage. Moreover, my ex-wife always complained about my lack of stamina. Well, actually I don't have an ex-wife, but if I had one, I reckon she would complain about my lack of stamina. Anyway, when I made it to the next bonfire, I had the opportunity to go and free Cornix from his cell, given that he provides both the Pyro Flame and the one single Pyromancy that doesn't consume any stamina. Now, to reiterate once more, this specific spell is such a load of hot garbage that despite it not consuming stamina, it is still a waste of energy. Well, for the most part, because it does serve some very specific purposes, as you will see. But one thing that we can also pick up, which is arguably the secret weapon in this playthrough, our one saving grace, namely the Cestus. And no, it has nothing to do with parrying, which consumes stamina after all. No, it's the weapon art Perseverance, also known as Portable Poise. Now, it is only active for a very short time, so it can take some practice to time it properly.
There's so many obstacles, it's unbelievable. I can't touch that red pot!
But this skill will not only allow us to tank our way through the onslaught of enemies in between boss fights, but it's also going to be invaluable within the boss fights themselves. After all, getting stunlocked to death is already the greatest danger when you have this little mobility. But on top of that, the last thing you want is for your attack and Estus animations to get cancelled by enemy attacks as well. Unfortunately, we cannot easily use it in the offhand, given that we're using the weapon arts, so it does require you to awkwardly switch back and forth between Onyx Blade and Cestus, given that constantly switching between two-handing and one-handing would be even worse. And as you will see throughout the playthrough, that can be more tricky than you might even realize. Well, one good thing at least is that the Onyx Blade weapon art gains only a tiny little damage bonus from two-handing anyway. Now, although it does not provide any poise, even though it should, I made sure to pick up the Fallen Knight armor. And yes, I do eventually switch to some heavier armor than that. That won't even provide that much extra damage reduction anyway. It's a small benefit, not a huge one. Whereas wearing any armor over no armor does make quite a bit of a difference. Now of course, before taking on the next boss fight, we obviously want to increase our damage output. Gundyr and Vord may have taken a ton of damage from the Onyx Blade at +0, but unless we focus on upgrading as well as leveling Faith mainly, that massive damage output is going to drop off rapidly. And on top of that, there are quite a few dark resistant bosses in this game. And yes, we can inflict pure fire damage with Fire Surge, but that's reserved for Crystal Lizards. Because hitting them with the Onyx Blade is an absolute pain in the dick, where you have to really awkwardly free aim at almost 90 degrees. So in that sense, Fire Surge is a much better alternative. And speaking of alternatives, we also need an alternative method for acquiring the Silver Serpent Ring, the Estus Ring, the Estus Shard, and the Twinkling Titanite from the Crystal Lizard behind Firelink Shrine. And of course to access the Crow's Nest to acquire 2 more Twinkling Tits. you know wordplay because tits are a type of bird. What? That is a type of bird. I don't know what you were thinking about. I'm trying to be all intellectual here, and you guys, some people. But speaking of birds, it's what I'm flipping Irina, because I cannot use miracles anyway. And actually buying the key will cost you an arm and a tit. So, well, anyway, that will grant us access to all the important stuff. But after all of that is done, it will be time for the Crystal Sage. And what a lovely thought it is to get bombarded by 20 million magic missiles while moving at a snail's pace. Well, as some of you will know, you can actually see exactly where the real sage will spawn based on the crystal pattern. But given that I don't have those patterns memorized, I do the next best thing, and that is to basically move towards the crystal that is furthest away from you. Yeah, it's not a perfect strategy, but the sage will then either be there or in either of the adjacent locations. Of course, your own initial position when he teleports matters to determine what quadrant he's going to spawn in the first place. So let's hope that my slower movement won't throw a wrench of the monkey variety into my strategy.
Okay, now I need to find the right one. Oh, that's not the right one. Ah, fuck. Damn it! That sucks. That's it. Okay. Very nice. Yeah, but when do you get the Pharaoh Ring, by the way? That's after the Abyss Watch or something? I don't know. Okay. Worked out.
So, after telling the sage to take a long walk of a short pier, I had access to 4 Twinkling Titanite. Well, technically even more by entering the DLC. But other than upgrading, I also acquired Lloyd's Shield Ring for a massive defense boost at full health. Now, I didn't pick up Lloyd's Sword Ring yet, because I left the Cathedral for later. Because I quite wrongly assumed, as it would become evident pretty soon, that the Abyss Watchers would be less of a threat than the Deacons of the Deep. After all, it's not uncommon that an easy fight like against the Deacons suddenly becomes a barrier when playing with specific restrictions. So I told the Deacons to go and take a hike for now. Because, let's be honest, how often do the Abyss Watchers suddenly become an obstacle in basically any playthrough? Well, I can't put a number on that, but it's at least one time, namely this playthrough. In fact, even entering the boss arena was already a bit of an issue.
Well, okay. Now I'm dead because I'm poisoned. Okay, then. Fuck it then. We're not even going to try. I'm pretty sure I can't even heal the poison. Damn, that sucks that there are enemies along the way. And that takes too long, I think. Okay, good damage. Fuck, that's not good. Damn it, that moves him too far forward and that didn't even hit. I hardly know which watcher is which watcher. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't attack me. Damn it. Ah, we were still able to get away. Damn. Oh, come on. Fuck, I'm already out of FP because of the stupid enemies along the way. Fuck. I'm stuck. Yeah, when you're stuck then it's not possible. The thing is, when they do the overhead attack, then you can outspace it, but the problem is they can also dodge away then immediately, so... You see? Out of FP already. Oh, wait! The red one is not supposed to attack me. That sucks. No, I'm already dead. Jeez. Oh, I didn't... God damn it. Come on! And I'm poisoned. And I don't even have... No. Okay, I have to go back. See, it sucks that they can move away. No, I'm dead already. Because that would be a great attack opportunity, but yeah, if they dodge away, then no. Damn it! I can't get out. Well, I got saved by the red one. Okay, good. But now we have the entire second phase. Oh, he doesn't do it. Fuck. Oh, that's another RNG problem, of course. If he doesn't do it. Oh, and he actually hit me. Or he can recover. Ooh. That's right, if you don't backstab him, he can recover. That sucks. Fuck, I don't even know how to get out of that. And I'm dead. Shit. That's a problem. Ah, he doesn't do it. Ah, fuck. Damn it. That fire across the floor is hard to avoid. And that I don't even know how to avoid. I can't even get out of this. Damn, the standard strategy for the second phase doesn't really work like this, because if he shoots fire forward, then you cannot really avoid it. Oh. Frame drop and I miss. And I miss again. And I don't have FP. And I'm stun locked. Oh my god. Okay, the side strafing works quite well, as you can see. That's actually helpful to know. Okay, good. That's a good start. The problem is already RNG dependent whether he even follows up with... Damn it, that still hits you. Huh? I used Assassin and I still died. Okay, that's very well. Oh, he hit me! Fuck, I immediately start where the boss is. Yeah, come on! Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, I couldn't do anything because I started where the boss was. Oh my god.
Wow, it seems that despite their name, I am the one mainly doing the watching and they are the ones doing the walking, specifically all over me. Well, at least we figured out that they do have a tendency to loop their rolling attacks, so that could come in handy. But you know what, we don't have to defeat the Watchers right now. We can do other stuff first to level up a bit, and perhaps to even give us a little extra defense boost with a different set of armor. And therefore, after getting my balls busted so many times in a row, I decided that I should be the one to bust some balls, and therefore I made my way to the Curse Rod in Greatwood. Well, the tree boss was actually not all that different under these circumstances than in a regular playthrough. Main difference was that you cannot roll into the hollows to stagger them. But my damage output was more than sufficient, and the buff adding fire damage was especially handy here, of course. So this was a relatively quick way to get some extra souls. However, despite the name of the tree, it's the deacons that might cause trouble because they can inflict curse upon you. And I wouldn't be able to distract them either, given that alluring skulls require stamina to throw. Of course, I would need to get to them in the first place, and that's not a big issue when you can run and roll, but this time it would require some tactical and well-timed uses of the Perseverance weapon art. And probably a lot of luck. Either or, but preferably both.
No, I can't heal. Oh fuck, no, and I'm dead. I'm dead. I got hit by the smoke thingy. So now it's over. Yeah, one more hit and I'm dead. I don't know how long it takes for it to wear off, so... Oh, wait. Wow, I got really lucky there. I definitely did not expect to survive that. Unfortunately, the Grave Warden is still behind me. By the way, those dual charms, I think, given that you throw them, I assume that they also consume stamina. Just to be safe. Uh-oh. No! Whoa! Wow, I made it through. Somehow.
Wow, we actually made it through. Well, that's good, but we still have some things to do before taking on the deacons. First of all, I picked up Lloyd's sword ring and made my way to Rosaria for whenever I would need to respec. However, then I went back to Secret to help him against the fire demon. Or I suppose in this case I literally did all the work for him. And he was the one who got to take a nap, even though I'm the stamina deficient one. But the whole point here is to start his quest line to get him into the well. And for two reasons. One, because for now at least, it would allow us to use his onion armor, which has very high physical resistance. And I suppose it is theme appropriate since Secret apparently doesn't have a lot of energy, given how often he himself has to take a little nap after practically doing nothing or gorging on Estus soup. But of course I wanted to do his questline anyway. After all, how else would I be able to defeat Yorm under these restrictions without Secret's help? And I might as well, because it's not that difficult to get his help. Just a little questline, and then you simply free him from his cell by jumping across the
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Fuck with a little vibrato in my voice. Okay, well that is going to be a worry for later then. For now, let's worry about the deacons.
Damn it, now I'm out of... I can't heal. I'm stuck. I'm completely stuck. Damn it. I can't stay on my feet. I won't be able to kill him in time. No. No, I'm dead already. No. I can't reach him. Nah. Well, it's a good start at least. But they're not already going to heal. Yeah, I'm already out of healing. I can't attack. Yeah, nice. Wow, I did not expect to win there. I got definitely some... I got some good RNG there. Okay, good. Now, And we're ambered, so we have new armor, we're ambered. We're leveled up a little bit. Unfortunately, if I get stuck, then it doesn't even matter. Because it's still going to be an RNG nightmare. At least I have a bit of a strategy now for the second phase that I have in mind, but it is still RNG dependent, so definitely still going to suck. Also, the best way to get through here is to simply quickly kill this guy, and then hopefully the rest will work itself out. Okay, good start. Yeah, good, very good start. I missed. Fuck. No, I missed. And that's such a good start. That sucks. That definitely sucks. Okay, the red eye one is still alive. That's good. What the fuck, dude? Okay, that's good. I still missed. But I can't be near there when he dies. Oh fuck, now the other one is here. Shit. Come on, he's almost dead. Just do it. Kill him, quick. Kill him. No, he's going to die. It's only one hit. One more hit, just do it. One hit. He can't even get one hit in. Just run into it. What the hell? This is insane. Just die already. Yeah, but now I'm in the wrong place in the room. Is that the red eye one? No, that's not the red eye one. What the fuck, dude? Yeah, hit him. Yeah. But now I still need a really good RNG here. Just make sure I have enough FP. Okay, do something. No, 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 not good. Not good. Not good at all. Not good at all. No, 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 no. Not good. Not good. Not good. No, I didn't hit him. I did not hit him. What the fuck? No. Unfucking real. Son of a... Absolutely unbelievable. Okay, jump. No! That's the wrong way! What the fuck? This sucks so hard. Yes, got him. Fuckalicious. Wow. Fuck me in the Alps. Oh.
Wow, who would have thought that the Abyss Watchers could ever be such an obstacle? I mean, they hardly ever are. However, when playing with specific restrictions, Wolnir suddenly becoming an actual threat is quite a bit more common. And therefore I was quite worried about this encounter, given that you only get one chance where he starts off in a passive state, which allows you to make use of a certain pattern. If you go for his right arm first, which incidentally allows you to experience what it's like to touch grass, you either will get an immediate free shot at his right bracelet, or depending on RNG, you get it after he puts his hand back down. And then after you destroy it, you can move right in front of him, where his left hand won't reach. In fact, even if he breathes smoke, it will go over you. yes, the smoke is a forward-moving hitbox, meaning that you can literally stand behind it. It's weird, but that's how it works. So that's almost a perfect strategy for practically any situation, unless you get some really unusual RNG. Because Wolnir actually summoned skeletons this early in the fight. In fact, I didn't even know that there was something that he could do at this point already. But it happened anyway. And then everything went downhill from there. Meaning that when I died, I became incredibly worried because now Wolnir would already be awake. However, it turned out I was worried for nothing because then I got favorable RNG and, well, the only thing going downhill this time was Wolnir sliding down into the abyss. Huh. Okay, given how easy that was, maybe I overreacted a little bit? Huh. Let's see what the chat had to say about that by turning on text-to-speech.
Drama queen!
No, I thought that...
Drama queen!
Aw. Now, speaking of going down, before continuing onwards into Airfill, I went down to the Smoldering Lake first to collect upgrade materials and some extra souls.
Double kill.
Very nice. That worked out. That worked out very well. Okay. Well, that's only one. We need 8. Now you can get a +5 weapon. That's the whole point. Okay, well, first of all, let's just make our way into Airfill then.
Now, given that the Pond of Beasts can follow you all the way down into the lake beneath, it's probably never a good idea to leave it alive, but this time I had no choice but to fight it, because I obviously wouldn't be able to move fast enough to make it across the bridge before it could catch up with me. Fortunately, there is a way to kind of cheese this fight, as the beast will despawn if you move back off the bridge the way you came, and while it's fading away, you can actually get some free damage in. Then just repeat this process, and then you don't have to worry about anything chasing after you. Well, that is until you are in Airfill itself, because this place is filled with dangerous enemies. And given that I cannot run, I thought I would take the stealthy approach instead, and solid snake my way through. Or solid statue, I suppose. After all, the hidden body spell consumes stamina, but the consumable white branch does not. I mean, it's not like you're throwing it. However, this strategy was anything but solid. Or perhaps, more likely, I just suck at stealth games, I don't know. Well, whatever the case, we're not playing on European Extreme, so getting spotted doesn't automatically end the game. So therefore, I simply decided to make, well, not a run for it per se, but a less stealthy stroll at least. However, I still had to make use of my sneaking skills to get another Twinkling Titanite, although I got massively out-stealth when trying to get a second one. However, the next two would be all the way down in the profaned capital. Now, fortunately, the dungeon along the way contained another very helpful item, given that the Onyx Blade mainly inflicts dark damage. And inside one of the 2 chests behind the rats, we can find the Dark Lodge ring. Fortunately, the Mimic went down easier than expected. So the worst thing I had to fear from this chest was getting a Splinter. Well, actually what I really had to fear were Splinter's family members.
Yeah, this is helpful. Fuck me. Can you just drop down, please? Yeah, very good. Yeah, drop down. No, drop down. Yeah, thank you. Hey, wait. Yeah. Well, yeah, at least this is one instance where rope firebombs were useful.
However, even after getting the Twinklies from the lizards in the profaned capital, I was still 2 stones short, 4+4, but fortunately I had to go into the painting of Ariandel anyway, because that's where you can acquire the first Titanite slab that would immediately allow me to upgrade to max. Well, one of the 2 required crystal lizards gravitated himself, so that one was easy enough. But where exactly could I acquire the final one?
Darkness and silence.
Well, I had an idea. There's another crystal lizard in the village. But that would require us to make our way past a hyper-aggressive crow. And sure, our previous attempt at stealth was a fish and mild. But hey, it's nothing to lose your head over. And I guess it's a good thing that this raven doesn't carry a machine gun that would normally be mounted on a fighter jet. And therefore, there's no way that they can stop us from acquiring our final upgrade stone.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not good. What the hell? He actually killed me! No! Come on!
Well, I suppose I forgot the basics of CQC, but that crystal lizard is apparently off limits. So the only alternative would be the one in the tower. But, well... yeah... How about no? How about heck no? They could put freaking Rapunzel in there and I still wouldn't go near it. However, that entailed that there was no more Twinkling Titanite available, and I was only one short, which would get me from +3 to +5, because I already had the Titanite slab now. So therefore I decided to simply buy a Twinkling Titanite using Grey Rat's ashes. However, that would require the death of another boss to continue his questline, as that applies to both his death as well as a safe return. However, the entire reason for acquiring Twinkling Titanite is so that I would not have to fight another boss without a fully upgraded weapon. Now, fortunately, despite the fact that I almost always skip the fight against the old Demon King, and therefore I know very little about his moveset, I do in fact know of a method to easily defeat him despite not knowing his moves. Because if you stay away from him until he does his lava breath, you can move towards him for a single attack and then move back to safety again. And in the second phase, the same applies to the meteor shower. So that is very easy, but also really slow and mind-numbingly tedious. Oh come on. Oh damn it, this is taking forever. I mean, I already don't have any stamina, so this time there was a real danger of me just falling asleep out of sheer boredom. But fortunately, despite my expectations, his heat died out before the heat death of the universe, and before I ran out of steam. So, not only did that cross another boss fight off the list, but now I was able to finally upgrade my blade to +5. And we would definitely need that, because next on the list was Pond of Sullivan. And he can be easy if you can parry, but that's not an option this time. Okay, so before the actual fight, here is some bonus footage of what I was attempting to do in this fight. Because I did know that the attacks from the parry loop strategy also are avoidable with strafing alone. So that was what I intended to do. Unfortunately, that's not exactly what happened on stream. Because the moment things went wrong, which was, to be fair, was directly at the start of the fight. But that kind of caused me to, well, I obviously can't say that it resulted in panic rolling. So I guess we have to introduce a new term here. So the best way to describe my approach here was panic strolling. An understandable, but not the most practical strategy.
Yeah, a way too bad start here. I didn't see anything! I can't even see. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Ooh. I definitely should have reallocated. Why is the clone still alive? What the hell? I think I could have won if I had more FP. I had more HP. But I was stupid, I didn't reallocate. That's so stupid. If only I had reallocated. Fuck, not a good position. No, wrong. Fuck, I still can hit? Wow. That was not expected. Wow, now it's really going worse. It's going way worse now. I didn't hit him. What the hell? He doesn't do the clone. What the fuck? I don't see anything. Are you kidding me? Look at that health bar.
Look at it! I want all of you to look at it!
Oh, now he does that. Yeah, now I'm dead. Come on, I had so many good... No. No, no, fuck. No, not that one. Why that one? Why that one? Yeah, I can't see anything. I don't even know what to do now. I got him! What the fuck? Okay. I did not expect that. Still sucks that the first attempt wasn't victorious, because that would have been a much better fight. Except for the beginning. What the fuck, dude? How the hell did I suddenly win out of nowhere? I was in the corner and he did his fucking 10 hit combo. Can you believe that? Wow, that was a shit show.
Well, it was a good thing that I managed to defeat Pontiff before the end of that particular stream, because that allowed me the opportunity to farm the Pontiff Knight Grave Scythe wielding Pontiff Knight for the Pontiff Knight Grave Scythe that is wielded by said Pontiff Knight. Okay, I guess I could have phrased that in a less convoluted way. And I also made sure to go and collect the Shield of Wand for some extra souls. Although it sounds crazy given how much I hate farming, but I was actually disappointed how quickly he dropped his weapon, because I didn't collect that many souls in the process. So therefore I had to go to Rosaria for some nice tongue-in-cheek. Oh, ooh, I actually don't think I can say that. Oh, wait a minute. That's actually some sort of expression? It's not a, let's say, 18 plus innuendo? Oh, well, I'll be a son of a gun. It means something quite different than I thought it did. English, what a weird language. Well, anyway, speaking of cheeks, it's a common misconception, by the way, that I even held to, that Rosaria has some weird butt deformities going on, but that's actually not part of her body at all. Anyway, I made sure to respect my stats, given that the scythe requires 19 dexterity to wield.
Please, I am begging you, put the air conditioner on.
Actually, I'm quite comfortable.
It wouldn't yet come in handy though, since although I made my way towards Aldrich, he was not yet the next boss fight on my list. But there is some relevant stuff to collect along the way. First of all, a simple gem for my Cestus for a little bit of FP regen. Although very much emphasis on a little bit. And this would really only come in handy in one particular fight. In fact, in retrospect, I probably should have infused a shield without a weapon skill with a simple infusion. Which I would later on do with a blast infusion, which would make even less of a difference, to be honest. But something that was definitely very relevant was yet another Estus shard. Moreover, Anolondo is a pretty decent place to farm for levels in between streams. Although it turned out that there's a more efficient place for that, which I kind of realized a little bit too late. Namely in Lothric Castle, which incidentally is where we're headed now, because the Dancer is weak to dark damage, whereas Ulrich is highly resistant to it, and Yorm is immune to the fire buff, and on top of that has an extreme amount of health. However, including Dancer, there would be 3 more bosses I could take down first, before having to deal with them, as you will see. Now, an obvious issue with the Dancer would be a grab attack, which is actually not even that difficult to outspace, but if you react too late to it, then you will be on the ground, And we know by now what that means. Regardless, she is very weak to dark damage and our weapon is fully upgraded already. So that does make you wonder, how effective would it be against her?
Okay, that's a good start. Yeah, that works. Okay, that works. Okay, nice. Oh, I even accidentally avoided... Oh, whoa, this is good. This is good. This is very good. Oh, this is not good. But this is... What the fuck? Okay. Well, that is what it means to be weak to dark damage, I assume. Okay. Not very graceful, I would say, but effective. Well, she was graceful, I was effective. Let's just call it that.
Alright then, that was quite effective indeed. However, Osiris doesn't share that immense weakness to dark damage. Regardless, he can in fact be inflicted with frostbite. And given that the Onyx Blade does partial fire damage, because of the buff, if I switch back and forth, I can constantly reset the frost effect. However, switching between the Scythe and the Onyx Blade and the Cesters for Perseverance is quite a bit to juggle, and it would be even worse if you put one of those weapons in your offhand, and then try to juggle with the triangle button. So doing it without the Cesters made me kind of worried about the second phase, where he gains the instant charge attack, and in general starts dashing all over the place, where I would have to chase him around with the speed of an asthmatic ant carrying a heavy shopping bag. And therefore something I had in mind for the second phase was getting him stuck behind the branches on the right side of the arena, which as you probably know is a cheese tactic, especially for when you can use range attacks. However, that strategy didn't seem feasible to me, because how would I get him in the right position when he can move so much faster than I can? So yeah, I suppose it could work if he himself would happen to place himself in the right position by complete accident, but come on, what are the chances of that happening?
Oh. Uh-oh. Damn it, not good. I need FP. Hey, he's in the right position. Stay there, stay there, stay there. Stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there, stay there. Yeah. Oh, if he actually stays here, then and if I can hit him? Can I hit him like this? No, stay there, please. Stay there. Yeah, I can hit him. Good. But it's kind of hard to reset it like this. Maybe I should actually equip a... Wait, I have a better idea. Yeah? That's a more effective way of resetting it. Damn it, I can still get hit. That's not good. That's better. Come on, nobody does cheese better than the Dutch. There he goes. Nice. There goes. Sorry, I had a good fig. See, and first search was indeed still worthwhile. But how fucking lucky did I get that he himself put himself in that position? So, thank you, Osiris. I very much appreciate that. But you see, the scythe is definitely worthwhile. If you can use it in the right situation, at least. Because the damage in and of itself is not that great.
Huh. Well, that happened. Unexpected, but I'm certainly not complaining. Now, as I said before, there were 3 bosses I could take on first before going to either Aldrich or Yorm. Or dare I say, Dragon Slayer armor. Because now we have the gesture to reach Archdragon Peak, so we can make some quick souls by defeating the Ancient Wyvern first. But a plunge attack consumes stamina, so that's not an option. However, there's an alternative. And no, it's not inflicting toxic with the Starkpooper, because you can only carry 5 of those for some inexplicable reason. I guess them consisting of literal shit didn't make them shitty enough. But something that does work is positioning yourself on the staircase on the right, where you can avoid the very limited moveset of the Ancient Wyvern. When he breathes fire forward, you can stand underneath his head, inflict him with frostbite, and then move away from his head swipe. And when he flies upwards, you don't even have to do anything at all. And then you can do the same thing with the Onyx Blade to reset the frost status. Or sometimes you inexplicably will not reset the frostbite because of the weird hitbox, where you would actually think you only hit him with the fire buff, given the low damage, but for whatever reason, it didn't actually count as fire damage. Somehow. But other than that, the only issue was to consistently avoid the sideways fire breath, given that that requires some precise timing and spacing. Which is kind of inconvenient, by the way, that we use those words separately. Guess we have to learn from physics and from now on just refer to it as space timing. But all in all, it's just a matter of being patient and to not fall asleep out of boredom. Because, yeah, the thing with the Ancient Wyvern is that no matter how you approach this quote-unquote boss fight, there's just no way to make it actually interesting under any circumstances. But hey, at least we got some extra souls out of that. And eventually, but that's for very much late game, we will need to be here anyway to include the Nameless King. And no, we're not picking up Havel's armor, despite what too many people in the chat thought would be a good idea. In fact, we can actually now pick up the Ring of Steel Protection, and even the standard version already adds more to our defenses. And an even better idea would be to get Secret's help against Jorm's immense health bar. But the obvious problem there would be the jump you need to make to reach his cell in the profaned capital. Well, before that, I would first have to return his armor to him. But that's fine given that it's appropriate anyway to wear Wilhelm's set given the weapon I'm wielding. Unfortunately, he wields it quite a bit better, so it would be quite nice if he would pull an Osiris for me and put himself in a favorable position for tactics of the cheese variety.
This is probably going to be a lot more difficult to get him in the right place here. Oh wait, he's moving. Oh, hey, this helped. What hell? I've never seen. Whoa, wait, oh, he can attack there. What the fuck? Okay, now he's passive. That is very peculiar. Both Osiris as well as him place themselves in the right position for me. Hey, now I have two Onyx Blades, but unfortunately I cannot dual wield them.
Of course, now we still have a problem. We cannot cross the gap to reach Secret Cell. Damn it, how can I make it across without using stamina? Come on, press, use your head. Well, actually, if you want quick and easy satisfaction, you don't use your head, but a hand instead. Yeah, I know, it is kinda gross, but it's exactly the helping hand we need. Yeah, it's not the most elegant way, I suppose, but it did get the handjob done. And then by, let's say, persuading little Ludlev to hand over the skull ring, I could make sure that Jorm wouldn't focus on Secret. Because he is the one doing the overwhelming majority of damage. So I need to serve as a distraction. After all, if he dies in this fight, he will not respawn. Now, fortunately that didn't happen. However, given that that could have happened, I do think it's appropriate to have some bonus footage here. So let's use another character to demonstrate how you could defeat Jorm, in the very sad case that Secret doesn't make it. You see, the main issue with Jorm is his stomp attack. Because even though it does no damage, under these circumstances it is the most dangerous thing he can do. Given that he will then destroy you before you even have the chance to get back up again. And it's pretty difficult to react to it in time, given how quickly it comes out. And therefore I make sure to use Perseverance preemptively, when moving underneath him, to trigger him to do his two-handed attack. However, there is a second issue. Normally you would want to hit his right arm, so left from your perspective, because for some reason that will make him stagger, which under normal circumstances allows for a critical attack on his head, whereas hitting his left arm, for whatever reason, does not make him stagger. However, the problem is that with the Onyx Blade's weapon art, hitting his right arm consistently is not really feasible, whereas hitting his other arm is. But then of course the fight is going to take ages. However, the animation of the weapon art does in fact allow for a direct hit on his head. Also not that consistently, but at least now you can follow a pattern. Because hitting his head will also make him stagger. So you can move underneath to use Perseverance in case he stomps his feet, and in order to bait a two-handed attack. Then attack towards his left arm, but with the goal of hitting his head as often as possible. And that way we can inflict a decent amount of damage consistently, and once in a while Jorm will stagger. Of course you cannot do a critical, but you will at least do bonus damage on his head. But yes, of course, getting Secret's help is much more efficient. But in case you would want to get your hands dirty yourself, instead of getting help from that dirty, disgusting hand creature, this is how you could do it. Of course, then you either wouldn't have Secret's onion outfit, or you would have it, but then he would be forever stuck inside the well. However, Yorm also has a second phase, and although it adds fire to his attacks, fortunately his stomp attack only gains a visual fire effect. So the same strategy still applies, however it also changes up his moveset. So he will be more likely to sneak in a hit here and there, and he will be less likely to react with the two-handed downward attack when you get underneath him. By the way, as you will see, Yorm can actually also stagger from poise damage, which is a different type of stagger. In fact, I immediately got the regular stagger on the very next hit. Which is a good thing, because in the alternative stagger animation, he won't actually put his head down, so it's not all that useful. Now, unfortunately, when it comes to my own head, I nearly lost it near the end of the fight, because when you make a mistake, a drastic one when you're on the cusp of victory, there's a real danger of it slipping through your fingers altogether. So at the end, things got pretty damn tense. Anyway, that might take care of Yorm, but the next 3 bosses all have an immense resistance to dark damage. And although Aldrich is not immune to frost damage, his resistance to it is high enough to prevent me from inflicting frost with a single AoE from my Pontiff Scythe. So especially given the fact that I need to reset the frost with the Onyx Blade anyway, I'm still better off forgetting about Frostbite altogether and just focus on somehow surviving this fight in the first place. Because under these restrictions, you're met with a lot of obstacles. My go-to strategy normally is to prevent Aldrich from teleporting altogether, except for the scripted teleport when he goes into his second phase. And this is something you can do by staying about a roll distance away from the Gwendolyn part of his body when he recovers from an attack animation. But not only is this way harder to do given that I not only move slower, but have a slower attack animation that also has some questionable hit detection, but avoiding his melee attacks without rolling makes things even worse. And that's just the first phase, because not only don't you get a lot of damage in the first place, but once he can use the Lifeland Scythe, he will undo much of the progress you managed to make. And again, that is something forcing you to move away from him, which often is not even enough to avoid it in the first place.
Oh, 52 damage. Oh, very good. Again, Lifeland Scythe. Wow, look at how much health he still has.
But then there is the worst thing of all. If you can't stay in the teleporting preventing position, that means that he can do the giant arrow rain, and that is already a nightmare to avoid when you can run and roll. So when he does it under these circumstances, it is a death sentence. Unless you can make it all the way to the back of the room in time. Of course, without running, because there is actually a safe zone there where the arrows cannot reach you. Unfortunately, Aldrich is not passive when the arrows rain down, so even if you can make it there, you will still have to manage to survive his projectiles that he spams in the meantime. And then also survive closing the distance again when the rain stops pouring down. This was an absolute RNG nightmare. However, it is a mandatory fight, so you got to do it. You've got to somehow make it happen.
I didn't even hit him. I didn't even hit him. Unbelievable, like not even getting any damage in. Yeah, I'm in the wrong position. Well, now I'm stuck far away from him. What the hell? How did that still hit me? Yeah, the hitbox is very janky. No, I'm dead. Well, I'm alive, but I already knew that it was going to get hit. I can't hit him. I still get hit. Pillar. Hit him, please. Just hit. No, 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 no. There was no pillar. How the hell do I undo all the health you get regained? Yeah, that's the only way to deal with the life and scythe, I think. That is, if there's a pillar. If there is no pillar, then yeah. There's nothing you can do about it. What the hell? That was not what I wanted. Son of a bitch. Oh my god, the damage from the magic. I don't hit. No, that's going to... Oh, that's not going to hit me. Good. Yeah, how the hell was I supposed to avoid that? Pillar, please. I don't hit him. What the hell? How did that hit me? His hitbox is janky as well, I think. Please, just one cycle. Huh? Just attack, 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 just kill him. Yeah, fuck Alicious, fuck me up the fuck in the fucker, fuck up the fuck.
Because it's fun! We're having fun! Ah!
Wow, when you lack energy, you require RNG instead, it seems. But hey, I suppose the worst is behind us now. I mean, after all, after rain comes sunshine. Right? Guacamole of the holy variety. Who would have thought that Dragon Slayer armor would be this much of an obstacle? But damn, did he slap the ever-living shite out of me. And let me emphasize once more that no stamina is not equivalent to no roll and no sprint. In fact, let me demonstrate that. Yes, Dragon Slayer armor has a lot of attacks that can be avoided by strafing alone. But this requires very precise movement and spacing that is easily screwed up by the animation of the Onyx Blade weapon art. Not to mention the lackluster damage and the terrible hitbox. And you think that the Pontiff Scythe would be helpful, but that ironically made it worse. The boss being weak to frost has nothing to do after all with how much damage you inflict, but how much buildup is needed to proc the effect. And given that the animation is even slower, and how having Scythe, Onyx Blade and Cestus equipped at the same time results in even more awkward juggling with the D-pad, it doesn't exactly make things easier at all. However, the Scythe does have a small AoE, so couldn't that be used to our advantage? In fact, Dragon Slayer armor has a unique property where only inflicting indirect damage prevents him from going into second phase. And that would be extremely helpful. Well, I sure as hell tried to make use of that, by using a merry-go-round strategy around the fountain in the center of the arena. However, I couldn't find any consistent way to safely reapply the frost. Apparently, the AoE is visually larger than it is effectively. On top of that, I wouldn't be able to reset the frost effect if I wanted to prevent him from going into second phase. Meaning I had to wait for the effect to wear off after each proc. So this wasn't exactly a trip around the Fountain of Youth, as I would probably die of old age before the boss would. Well, actually, that's not even the case either, because he would easily kill me before that. Because again, I couldn't find any consistently safe way to get an attack in and then return to safety. The double shield bash did seem quite safe, but he would hardly ever do it. At the very least, I couldn't trigger him to do it in any safe capacity. So no matter how I approached it, after a while, something would result in me getting comboed to death. Because here's the main issue that makes Dragon Slayer armor so difficult under these circumstances. He is very unpredictable, as he can cut combos short or extend them in multiple ways. In fact, not even my go-to strategy of baiting his free hit combo and then circle around him to avoid the third hit would work consistently, because he wouldn't necessarily do the full combo, and when you can only walk, your timing and spacing has to be incredibly precise to avoid all three attacks in the first place. Not to mention that even when you can attack him, after you successfully manage to not get hit, he can likely recover and then counterattack before you can go back to safety. In fact, a constant remark I made during all these failed attempts was that the Dragon Slayer armor always manages to hit you even when you believe that you're outside of his hitboxes. It's really hard to judge whether he can hit you or whether he will barely miss you. Well, I foolishly thought that a walk would be as good as a hit. Because then, I actually made the mistake of respeccing to get my vigor to 50, which turned out not to be helpful at all. Because since my damage output was even lower now, the fight would only take longer, and the difference between 40 and 50 vigor is less than 100 HP. So this only made things worse. Well, regardless, I guess there's just no other choice than to keep trying. I mean, if you walk into a wall long enough, I'm sure it's going to break eventually.
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? I messed up. What the hell am I doing? Yeah, now I can't do it anymore. What the hell? Yeah, that's obviously not what I was wanting to do. Unbelievable. I completely messed up with the fucking Ember. Are you...
Microscopic.
Okay, no. I'm calm. I'm staying calm. But regardless, I can't let that slide. So hold on a second. Ah, nice, yeah. Yeah, that makes you feel young again. Whee! You know what? Maybe instead of juggling my levels between HP and damage output, perhaps I should just be at a higher soul level altogether. So I'm afraid it's just time for a farming session and another respec. Because I simply need to do more damage per hit so that the fight will take less time, and therefore I would need less influence from the RNG gods. Now, speaking of gods, then it happened. In the chat, there was the actual Son of God himself, our Messiah, the King of Kings himself. Oh wait, that's incorrect. I think it was actually a lesser type of deity. Who was it again? Oh, it was Jesus Christ. Okay, I guess that's slightly disappointing, but well, hey, I can definitely use a divine blessing from the chat, given that I didn't have one in my inventory. So, with the extra levels in faith and faith in RNGesus, I was curious to see whether I would finally be able to make it through this ordeal. Well, you do have to be careful with being curious, because even when you're not in the cold painting, curiosity could still be your cross.
Hey, what the hell? Okay, that looked really strange. Oh, nice. Oh, wow, okay, I'm panicking. No, I don't see anything. I don't see anything. At least I'm alive. I don't see anything because of the stupid fountain here. Damn it, I wasn't ready. Okay, well, fuck it. Why didn't that hit? No! Wrong! I'm completely panicking now. Oh, I got him! What the fuck? Ah! Oh. Ah! Well, that came out of nowhere suddenly. What the hell? I was panicking like crazy and suddenly I defeated him. Wow. Huh. Well, that took me so off guard that I don't even have the relief that you would expect that I would have at this moment. Okay, I guess I was just not paying attention to his life bar because I was paying attention to my own. I mean, I was completely panicking. Ah. Wow.
You know, I'm here just to do whatever I can.
Wow, that definitely took a while, but even after all of that, we still had to face yet another boss with an incredibly high resistance to dark. And given that there are two of them, you would think it would be twice as hard. Well, you're half right. So, it's the same, but only for the first phase. Because there are two phases, so it would be half right about a quarter of the... well, whatever the mathematics involved are, the point is that I did in fact know of a highly effective strategy for the second phase. However, getting there was the real problem. Now, fortunately, you can in fact avoid Lorien's sword if you are directly behind him by strafing, either along with the swing, or it can even go over your head when he does it in the opposite direction. I actually had to use this same approach in my Dragonstones only run, because my attack animation was so lengthy then. Now, the Onyx Blade's animation is not that lengthy, of course, but it's still slower than a standard melee attack. So it is harder to time correctly, but because I can only walk, even getting in the right position, staying in the right position, and surviving while getting in the right position again after he teleports away, that is a pretty tall order. And in my country, tall really means tall. Well, it's a different word, but the thing is that it's difficult to even get behind Lorien at all. You can in principle outspace his stab and his overhead attack, and even the giant slow charging magic wave can be avoided, but only if you immediately react to it. Because you barely have enough time to get to his side at walking speed. Well, ironically, we are still better off in the lag department compared to him, but in the taking and dealing damage department, he definitely has a leg up over us. And perseverance will only get you so far. At the very least, I would be able to use all of my Estus flasks to get through the first phase, because I wouldn't require any for the second. And that might sound very bizarre, but it all came down to whether I could end the first phase at a specific location in the back of the room. Hahaha, there we are, the Twin Princess frozen AI trick.
I want you to do me a favor, Phil.
What?
Say cheese.
Now all we need to do is to only hit Lothric, Because if you hit Lorien, he will in fact start attacking you. At least I think that's the only thing that could cause this trick to fail.
Okay, I think... Whoa, 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 what the hell? No!
No cheese!
Oh my god! Now I have to somehow make it through the first phase again. You see, and that's why we need to get rid of the monarchy, because royalty doesn't show respect to people from different walks of life. Again, ironically, Lorien is the one taking a knee in my presence. So I'll have to make sure that he will learn his place. Well, that is if I can learn the correct place to cheese this big cheese. Okay, let's play it completely safe here. No sudden movements, and only use the Onyx Blade to hit Lothric 3 times. Because then we can switch to Frostbite instead. Since even though you do damage to Lorien as well, it won't aggro him. And because Lothric's health is already lowered, Lorien will not die before he does. It does take forever since I was out of Ashen Estus, so I only had my simple infused cestus. And no, you cannot safely reset the frost with Fire Surge, since that pierces right through enemies. So it took a long ass time.
But yeah, I wasn't particularly fan of Pippi Langkous. Land Before Time, Platfoot! For some reason in my country it was called Platfoot, which means flat foot. Yeah, I didn't come up with it either.
But eventually, I managed to get the win against the twins. Alright then, so with all Lords of Cinder on their thrones, we could technically go and face the final boss. But we're not doing that yet. In fact, we are heading in even more dangerous territory first, because in the Drag Heap there are some very helpful rings to pick up. First of all, the Ring of Steel Protection plus 3, which ironically is very much protected itself. Ah, come on, be an angel and let me through, please. Oh, come on, I just asked so nicely. Well, at least now we can answer the age-old question whether walking or running through rain will make you take more damage. And the most ironic thing here is that the extra Fab Ring wasn't even worth it, because it turns out that it only boosts your HP by 6%, whereas the regular +0 life ring gives you 7% more health. Oh, by the way, in case you wonder about the Lothric War banner buff, it's true that it doesn't consume stamina, but unfortunately, you simply cannot combine it with the Onyx Blade. But at least we do have some extra damage reduction now, because Champion Gundyr is next, and wow, is he aggressive. But that in and of itself is not even the main issue. It's the fact that a lot of his attacks, especially his kick, can knock you on the ground, and if that happens, it's a matter of pure luck whether you will get the chance to stand up again, or whether he will just obliterate you on the spot. Therefore, Perseverance in and of itself wasn't sufficient, it was actually a matter of using it preemptively. So even when I could outstrafe an attack, I would still have to use Perseverance so that his next attack wouldn't be able to knock me on the ground. Not merely for attacking, but also for using Estus. So that sounds at least simple in theory, right? It might even seem kind of overpowered. Well, perhaps easy in theory, but certainly not in practice. Because Perseverance doesn't exactly last very long, and constantly switching back and forth is not merely a matter of pressing right on the D-pad, because of animation priority. As the people watching this live are very aware of my constant complaints about how I would try to switch from Blade to Cestus and back, but it wouldn't always work. Which is not an actual control issue, but based on animation priority. In other words, if you press right while you're already in a different animation, you still won't switch, even if you get the visual indication. So it wasn't merely about using Perseverance at the right time within his combos, but also switching at the correct times. And a single mistake could result in getting knocked on the ground, making you completely defenseless. So yeah, maybe easy in theory, but very difficult in practice.
Oh, whoa, fuck, no, now I fucked up. I can't do anything. Yeah. Oh, he's going to the charge. Shit, no, that knocks you back. That knocks you back. Fucking bullfuck. Yeah, that knocks you back. So now I'm dead already. Yeah. No! Yeah, I'm dead. Oh my god. Damn it, why did he get away from me? Yeah, now I'm probably dead. I I couldn't switch again. What the fuck is up with the stupid switching? I hate the stupid ridiculous switching where you press right and nothing happens.
Down here, salt is a way of life.
Damn it, yeah, I'm on the ground. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa! No, quick! 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 Come on, I couldn't do anything.
You've seen this before? 11 times, as a matter of fact.
Oh! Oh!
Ah, fuck, delicious. This is one of those fights that is easy in theory, but very difficult in practice. Because it looks deceptively easy that you can like tank through the attacks, but it's so difficult to time exactly with the right timing. Jesus.
Alright, that strategy at least worked against Gundyr, but the Nameless King would be a quite different story, as he inflicts way more damage, and not merely the physical variety. So therefore I decided to go to the final boss before him. Because Soul of Cinder has one interesting property that we could take advantage of. Namely that it takes very little to stagger him.
Okay, yeah, 3 hits. It should be doable then. Oh fuck, oh! Fuck, wrong. Oh, we got lucky that he did that move. Oh, I'm out of FP! Fuck! Yeah, now I'm dead because I'm out of FP. Yeah, I'm dead. I didn't pay attention to my FP. I really have to pay close attention to my FP. So I guess I should also just use Farron's Ring instead of Lloyd's Sword Ring. No, the grab attack. Ah, fuck. That's going to be a problem in this phase. Yeah, you see, the grab attack. Fuck, I didn't think about that at all. I don't know what to do with the grab attack. Jesus. Well, I'll keep in mind that I will circle clockwise around him then, but damn it. Okay, now I'm fucked. Wow. Well, circling clockwise is definitely helpful. Oh, ow, whoa, I wasted my ass. This is not smart. That was pretty close. But circling clockwise does help. Not that he did to the grab attack, but still, that kick, for example, went past me, so that was pretty good. You know what? If I get to the second phase, I should actually use an Ember if I'm having a good run at least. Fuck, it's going to wear off. Oh no, I got lucky there. Fuck. I thought he was going to switch. No, why a 3-hit combo? Yeah, damn it. Why is he not switching? And now he just avoids the attack by walking backwards. And Pyromancer face, god damn it. Oh, that's at least some free damage. Again, he avoids it just by walking backwards, nothing else. Why didn't I switch? Bullfuck. Why didn't that hit? Unbelievable. Why didn't that hit? Wow, I got lucky there. Just hit him. Wow. That was so bullfuck. That was so bullfuck. And the only reason I survived is because I just did shit. Global fnork. Well, that's one way of saying it.
Well, even though the final boss was defeated, it wasn't time yet to link the first flame. Because before that, we would need to go from out of the frying pan and into the lightning storm. Because the Soul of Cinder might be the actual final boss, but this fight contains the hardest boss of them all. The camera. And also the Names King, but yeah, the camera. Not only is the hitbox of the Onyx Blade weapon art terrible in and of itself, but it's an absolute nightmare to try and hit the Stormdrake's head with it. At least with any kind of consistency. Now, the damage was good, but that means little when you can hardly ever hit the damn thing. Not to mention the already quite interesting hitbox of the Fire Breath. If you don't immediately start walking away at the moment he flies upwards, you're not going to get out of it. And Perseverance makes you stand still, which can cause you to get hit twice as a result. But even when you manage to slay the King Taki frying chicken, then not even Perseverance can save you from the relentless onslaught that the Nameless King will unleash on your ass. A tanking strategy would simply not be viable this time. Armor and rings simply don't add enough defenses. So this time, we're not going to be able to simply walk it off. Oh, and by the way, it is actually possible to use a gesture to avoid damage when he charges towards you. However, that is really hard to time. Whereas using Perseverance is much easier, although then you do still take damage, of course. Well, given that I was at the end of that streaming session, I decided to increase my damage output and FP by farming at the correct location this time. Since this Lothric Knight is worth the same amount of souls as the Silver Knights in Analondo, but this one also, occasionally at least, drops valuable embers, and even Titanite chunks, allowing me to fully upgrade my Blast Shield. Although again, that's not really all that meaningful. But what is meaningful is the amount of poise damage I can inflict. After all, I might not be able to tank through the fight, but neither can the Nameless King if I can manage to stagger him. In fact, when he gets to his second phase, he would leave himself open long enough to stagger him again when he's charging up his lightning strike. So hopefully that would be enough. But of course I would need the opportunity to attack him in the first place. And my best shot would be when he flies upwards. Although he can also do that while moving off screen, which can be avoided by walking, but that requires strict timing and spacing, so I would simply use Perseverance instead. But again, Perseverance is an 8 in this fight, but not sufficient to carry me through the fight.
No, he doesn't go over my head. There we have a stagger. There we go! That's what I was trying to do. Nice! Nice! You see, I told you that I needed to get a stagger. I told you guys. Alright then. Our caped onion has made it through the entire main game.
And there we are, the entire main game completed without using any stamina. However, this is not the end. In fact, this is where the true Dark Souls 3 no stamina experience begins. Because there's still the Ashes of Ariandel and the Ringed City DLC. So stay tuned, because this video may be over, but this walkthrough is to be continued. Dare I say, to be press continued. Oh, fuck, what am I doing to myself?